Hello, and welcome back to Let's Replay Mystery Case Files Ravenhearst. I'm MCFPapa, and this is part 7. And this time I'll do it the other way of going from bottom to top. And man, that African mask looks really creepy with its like frowning face. Oh, I guess that's just like a fancy bottle and not like a lamp with a genie in. Because that was my first thought when I read gas lamp, though I guess that doesn't make much sense. Oh, there you can see the full handle of the handsaw. As I mentioned in an earlier part, that part of it was clipped off. For being a servant's quarters, though, this location, like this room, seems pretty big. You know, like a full, like, queen-sized bed, it seems like. Like, I don't think many people would be providing that for servants. Though again, maybe like the tree house, this was just built by Charles to lure Rose and her family in. You can tell they didn't have Gwendolyn and Charlotte planned at this stage of the game. Like at this point in time. Because surely Emma would have written something about them in her diary. Or did Rose just come to the house, like Ravenhearst Mansion, alone without him? Which, that might make sense, but then how did Charles end up abducting them? No. I guess I should have been so hard on Key to Ravenhearst and Ravenhearst Unlocked for not making sense in terms of the lore when even the Big Fish Studios games don't 100% make sense. Okay, I'll take the bust, even though I was going for the umbrella. And now that was weird. I always assumed that, like, this thing here was like a ribbon wrapped around the umbrella, like as a design choice. But I guess it wasn't. And that's something else entirely. Charles just straight up has a bomb stored up here in his garage. Now this sort of area would have been nicer to explore in, like, Return to Ravenhearst or Escape from Ravenhearst, because even though, like, after the events of Return to Ravenhearst, the mansion burned down, surely, like, these parts, which are depicted as pretty far away from the mansion, would still be okay. Oh wow, in this game you can middle click and it'll still pick up the item. I think that was the case in some of the other classic MCF games too. Oh wait, yeah, this level brings up another one of my complaints with the game, is that there's a few levels that don't have a location with a super puzzle to unlock. And I just don't understand why. Like, could they not design, like, 3 or 4 more super puzzles? Because they had plenty of locations that could have been locked behind a puzzle. And that's, like, one of the unique things about this game, but not all of the levels have that. Oh no, it's the inconsistency of the thing that bothers me more than anything else. Though I would love to, like, have talked to someone as they were developing this to see if there was anything unique they cut out or anything they changed during development. Would be interesting. But anyway, entry 13 on July 13th, coincidentally enough. Feverish dreams. I cannot sleep. Each time I do, something wakes me and I feel chilled. This night it was a terrible dream, a nightmare that was seemingly quite real, which made my blood pump so that I could not rest. I was here in this room, sitting in my wheelchair. I looked down to see myself wearing a gown of white, beautifully made of lace and satin. It took a moment to recognize that it was a wedding dress. I felt a paralysis throughout my body as I sat frozen in this gown. My soaring temperature is causing many such frightening nightmares. Also, I am quite concerned that I have yet to receive further communication from home. My father's health weighs greatly on my mind. Yeah, like, I understand Charles's plan that he would, like, just keep Emma sick so he could care for her and she would, like, fall in love with him then, because he was so considerate to her. But then I don't understand, like, what his plan was with, like, making her think she had a dream with the wedding dress on. I guess to, like, give her a nightmare that would make her want to marry him then? As, like, a sign or a vision that she should marry him? I'm not sure. If anything, I think it would have just scared her away from thinking of marrying him. Even if she didn't find out anything else about him. And it's interesting that the study and the library appear so much as, like, twin rooms in the same level. Because they're, like, right next to each other as well on the map. But strangely enough, like, none of the other third floor rooms appear till, like, the last quarter of the game. Kind of weird. I don't know if maybe there was some last minute room switching and that's why, like, the shed only appears once, barely halfway through the game. I wonder what movie they were filming outside this window in, like, a random patch of ivy growing along the brick wall. And why did they have a doorbell installed on a kitchen table? Not sure. Something interesting is that every location in this game has a key for the final level, but I believe all the images they used of the keys are unique for each location. I don't think they reused any. Or if they did, only a few, so that it doesn't feel like you're looking for the same key all the time. Because, like, for example, this is the key image for the pantry, and, like, the library has this key on, like, a chain or hook or whatever. Pretty interesting that they put in the effort of having so many unique images, especially given how much they reuse images in other sections of this game. Yeah, that butterfly looks an awful more like a moth than a butterfly, in my opinion. Oh yeah, this one where we get to play the arcade. Not crazy. I am not crazy. I know he swapped those numbers. Not crazy. That's something only a crazy person would write down. Yeah, that part of the Lights Out game is pretty simple. And then we get all the batteries and need to slot them in. And now here, you gotta click and release in the proper position. They don't just automatically go in, so why didn't they do that for the library super puzzle where you're matching stuff? Yeah, this one, you need to get the round things while avoiding the hearts. I guess you can't have love in this world. I mean, they are pretty simple games, but it's cool that they designed like 3 Atari type games for this. And there we go. And the TV just flashes random images of old, timey looking women. I guess because of Charles's obsession. It is interesting though they have the whole Lights Out section at the start, because they could have just had the game machine as the main thing of this puzzle. But I don't know how he was able to create a game machine when, like, video games weren't even really a thing till, like, the 70s. Yeah, I don't think you need to turn the handle there, but it just takes a really long time for it to go. And it's interesting that on the blueprints they have this whole section as a staircase, but still doesn't really make sense how these rooms are connected together, because they're all like boxed off. They don't have any connecting doors or anything. Maybe just the cellar opens up to these 3 rooms, but then again the workshop's locked and the surveillance room is locked, and the cellar itself is locked, so how could you get down to the pantry without going through the cellar when the staircase is explicitly depicted as being here? I don't know. Maybe they just didn't put much thought into some of this room design. Although I always really found this like thing creepy. I think it's supposed to be a mask or something, but it's just weird. And there's a weird, like, lighting on some of these items, especially the watermelon, this, like, baseball glove, and the wine bottle. I'm not sure what's up with that. And now something weird about this scene is there is a whole unique key in this location, but I have never, in all the times I've played it, had this key be one of the ones you need to find. Because this location is where Emma's body is hidden behind all this stuff. So I don't know why they put the key up there. Maybe initially they were planning on having her body be somewhere else? Not sure. Or maybe I've just been getting extreme luck and that's why it's never spawned for me. But on the subject of animation, they could have made the candle flicker creepily around and have maybe some lightning going on, flashing in the window. Because, as you can hear in the background noise, there is like a storm going on, exclusive to this location and not any of the other locations. I mean, it wouldn't have been that immersion breaking, because, like, Madame Fate's locations have totally different times of day and weather to them. And then we take the light bulb from this room, but it's still brightly lit up. Huh. Now we finally get introduced to Emma, or Rose. It's weird just how late into the game Rose is actually introduced. This is entry 14. There's only 6 more entries after this. Entry 14, July 14th. Coincidentally, again, the numbers match up. Welcome company. Today brought the arrival of a nurse named Rose Somerset. Charles insists on using the old term matron, but I prefer to think that she is more of a maid who will be checking my health in addition to keeping up the house. Regardless of the titular formalities, I am very pleased and excited for Rose's company. Charles is still very distracted, although I have not idea as to what he does with his time these days. A typo in this game? Didn't they proofread this? But now I can spend my time with this kind woman. She might just bring a bit of light back into my life, which has been lacking as my health has dwindled. My affliction has made it difficult to move about, so I am now confined to do so with the help of a wheelchair. Oh boy, I'm sure nothing but sunshine and rainbows will happen for these two in the future. So like and subscribe if you want. I'll see you next time. already 2.5 hours through this game. I don't think I'm getting any speedrun records this time.